Hi, I'm going to show you what's called the trend tracker in the visual tools of MissionHub that allows you to be able to see trends longitudinally over time of all your missional activity and movement indicators. And so from the organization's menu that you'll only see if you have admin access, you pull down to visual tools, and the third of these three visual tools is the trend tracker. So you click on that, and that will bring up the trend tracker. And I have access to the whole region, and so I will see many more campuses here than you would. But today we're going to focus on crew at, there it is, Syracuse University, main campus. And right now there are no trends because I've not yet selected the category that I want to observe trends in. So the first one I'll do is spiritual conversations. I select that, and the dates down here I can select as August 1st, 2013, and May, let's back it up here to March 31st. We'll update the chart. And so here you can see this trend starting in August that we went from 0 spiritual conversations to 13 to 29, then to 9 to 2 and to 0. Now, these data points represent when data was entered in the report movement indicators section. So you can see, you can track the trend of spiritual conversations on your campus. But there, you can actually track 4 different categories at the same time. So if I also choose personal evangelism, it shows the relationship between spiritual conversations and personal evangelism conversations. So there's a lot of overlap here that perhaps in these latter data points, there were an equal number of spiritual conversations that resulted in evangelism, which, you know, if you're making decisions as a leader, you might say, boy, whoever are having these conversations, they're pretty effective at transitioning from a spiritual conversation to personal evangelism because it matches up pretty clearly. Well, now let's add another category, and that is personal evangelism decisions. And so here you can see there's that general trend. The law of sowing and reaping is visible here, where 7 personal decisions were indicated at the same time that we had the most spiritual conversations and the most uh, uh, personal evangelism conversations where the gospel is actually shared. Well, these are the kinds of trends based on real conversations with real people that have been organized and entered into MissionHub that allow you to demonstrate to the students and faculty and volunteers and staff in your movement that if we'll step out in faith and share the gospel, people will receive it in proportion to our faith oftentimes. That's not always true, but that's what this trend tracker allows us to do is show the trends between certain activities and the missional goals that we have. And so fourth, let's see, we'll put, let's do students involved. And the students involved here started at 21 and escalated up here to 51 and have topped out at 53 so far. Um, so you could use that to track as the number of students involved increases. How does that affect your other missional categories? Now, one thing I can't do is compare with a year ago. You can click compare with 1 year ago, but nobody was using MissionHub at Syracuse more than a year ago because it wasn't hadn't been rolled out and no one was trained. But year over year, you'll be able to compare the missional activity of 1 year to another with the relative to movement size and other factors to help you understand what has happened in the past, to help you make better decisions about how to invest your time and your laborers in a way that will bring about more fruitfulness in the future. But I did want to mention one other thing, that instead of students involved, you can actually track labels from MissionHub labeling. And so if you, for instance, create a Greek label, you can track that and see how many Greek students are involved, and track that as a category. Or engaged disciples, the number of engaged disciples was pretty low at the time of all this evangelism, which would lead you to indicate that it was perhaps staff who were doing evangelism. And now that it's gone up, uh, you might expect more evangelism to happen. But these are all based on real people, real conversations that then will give you as a leader an indication as to what's happening in your movement, that either will confirm your expectation based on what you see, or might create some surprising conclusions that allow you to be able to make better decisions as a leader of how to shepherd your movement or movements, because you can pick and choose the movement over here that you want to follow the trends for, or as a whole staff team might do, you might choose all of your movements and track trends for the entire aggregate of what the staff team is doing. So once again, under the organizations menu, under visual tools, this is the trend tracker.